20 years, never nervous. Until now, 20 years in front of the camera. That is how long Thai superstar Nadech Kugimiya has been standing on red carpets, movie sets, and magazine covers without so much as a flinch. But at his own wedding reception this month, something reportedly changed. As Blackpink's Lisa stepped in for a photo beside him and his new wife Yaya, entertainment outlets covering the event say Nadech turned and admitted something he almost never admits on camera. He was nervous. Not before the vows, not during the ceremony. Right in the middle of his own wedding party, standing beside the most famous woman in the room. So what actually happened in that photo? And why has this one small moment turned into the story everyone is still talking about days after the wedding ended? Let's start from the beginning. Part 1. Meet Nadech, Yaya, and Lisa. If you are not familiar with Thai entertainment, here's what you need to know. Nadech Kugimiya and Yaya Urassaya are two of the biggest names in Thailand, the kind of stars who do not just headline dramas, they define them. Nadech built his career on more than 15 years of leading roles in Thai licorns, the country's answer to soap operas, becoming one of the most recognized leading men in Southeast Asia. Yaya, meanwhile, grew into one of Thailand's most bankable actresses, known just as much for her acting as for her elegance on the red carpet. The two met on a film set back in 2008, fell for each other on and off screen, and spent more than a decade as one of the most watched couples in Asia. Fans nicknamed them Nadech Yaya. And for years, every rumor, every red carpet appearance, and every quiet dinner photo turned into national news. This year, that decade-long love story finally reached its final chapter. The couple did not have just one wedding. They had three: a ceremony in Khon Kaen, Thailand, a romantic celebration overseas in Oslo, Norway, and finally, a glittering reception in Bangkok that Thai media nicknamed the Wedding of the Year. That reception is where our story happens. Now, who is Lisa? If you follow K-pop, you already know. Lisa is a member of Blackpink, one of the biggest girl groups on the planet, with a solo career that has made her one of the most recognized entertainers alive. What a lot of international fans forget is that Lisa is Thai. She was born and raised in Buriram, Thailand, long before Blackpink made her a household name worldwide. So when a hometown superstar like Yaya gets married, Lisa showing up is not just a celebrity cameo. It is one Thai icon coming home to support another. And that connection is exactly why her appearance at this wedding hit differently than a typical celebrity sighting. Part 2, to 1,000 guests. One night. The final reception took place at the Dusit Thani Hotel in Bangkok, one of the city's most iconic five-star venues. Reports say close to 1,000 guests filled the room that night. And this was not just family and close friends. This was half of Thai showbiz gathered under one roof. Actors, singers, directors, and producers all came out to celebrate Nadech and Yaya's final I Do. Big names like Mario Maurer, Bayfern Pimchanok, Mark Prin, Bright Vachirawit, and Sunny Suwan Methanant were all spotted in the crowd, along with singers James Jirayu and Jeff Sauter. Even Nadech's 82-year-old father, Yaya Kugimiya, was there for photos with the newlyweds. On paper, this was already one of the biggest entertainment events of the year in Southeast Asia. But here is the thing about a room full of A-listers. It takes a lot to actually stop the party and turn every camera in one direction. It takes someone who does not just belong to Thai entertainment, but to the entire world. And that is exactly what happened the moment one particular guest walked through the door. Every star in that room had their own fans, their own headlines, and their own history with the bride and groom. Yet there was one arrival that made even seasoned celebrities pull out their phones to record. We will get to that entrance in a moment. First, let's talk about what she was wearing, because before anyone even saw her face that night, they saw the dress. Part 3. The gold dress everyone is talking about. Lisa arrived in a golden yellow satin gown, off the shoulder, with a silhouette so simple it almost felt like a statement on its own. No heavy embroidery, no oversized accessories, just a fitted floor-length dress in a warm metallic gold, paired with her long hair worn down and minimal jewelry. In a room full of elaborate gowns and formal wear, that simplicity is exactly what made her stand out. Fashion-focused fans online were quick to point out why the color choice worked so well. Gold photographs beautifully under wedding lighting. It reads as elegant rather than flashy, and it does not compete with the bride. On Lisa, known worldwide for her striking figure and effortless stage presence, the dress did not just look expensive. It looked deliberate, like she knew exactly how much attention a single outfit could pull in a room full of cameras. Within hours, photos of the look were circulating across social media in multiple languages, from Thai fan pages to K-pop community boards and entertainment outlets across Asia. Commenters described the gown as one of Lisa's most talked-about looks in months, with many pointing out the timing. This appearance came during a period when Lisa had already been under heavy media attention for other reasons. And for a lot of fans, a show-stopping appearance at a friend's wedding was exactly the kind of headline they wanted to see instead. But here is the twist. The dress is not even the moment fans are still talking about days later. A great outfit can trend for a day. What actually kept this story alive for nearly a week was not what Lisa wore. It was what happened the moment she walked through the doors of that reception. Part 4. The entrance that stopped the room. According to accounts from the event, Lisa arrived at the reception with her close friend, Thai actress Nadech Kugimiya. The two walked in together, low-key at first, more like old friends catching up than international celebrities making an entrance. That low-key energy did not last long. Guests near the entrance reportedly turned almost immediately. Phones came out. Conversations paused mid-sentence. For a wedding that already had a room full of famous faces, it says a lot that one arrival could still shift the entire energy of the night. Within minutes, clips and photos of Lisa walking in were already being shared online, tagged, and reposted across fan accounts. What made this appearance so notable was not just who Lisa is. It was the fact that she showed up at all. International superstars do not always make time for a friend's wedding overseas, especially with packed schedules and constant demands on their time. The fact that Lisa flew in, dressed the part, and stayed to celebrate with the couple told fans something about the relationship behind the scenes, one that clearly goes deeper than a polite public appearance. And that detail matters, because it sets up exactly why what happened next carried so much weight. This was not two strangers posing for a photo because someone asked them to. This was a friend showing up for a friend. But even close friends can create an unexpectedly charged moment once a camera gets involved, and that is precisely what fans say happened next. Part 5. How well do they actually know each other? Now, you might be wondering how well Lisa, Nadech, and Yaya actually know each other outside of headlines. Thailand's entertainment industry, despite producing global stars, is still a relatively close-knit world. Actors, idols, and public figures cross paths at award shows, brand events, and industry gatherings far more often than international fans might realize. Lisa, despite her Blackpink schedule keeping her based mostly in South Korea, has never stopped being publicly proud of her Thai roots. Yaya and Nadech, meanwhile, are considered two of the most respected and well-connected figures in Thai entertainment, the kind of couple whose wedding guest list reads like a who's who of the industry. So, while Lisa's appearance was described by outlets as a surprise, it was not a random one. It fits a pattern of Thai stars supporting each other during major life milestones, no matter how big their individual platforms have become. That context matters, because it reframes what happened during the photo moment. This was not two celebrities forced together for a viral photo opportunity. It was a genuine friendship playing out in front of a room full of cameras, which, as you are about to see, may have made the moment even more real. Part 6. The photo that broke the internet. As the night went on, it was only a matter of time before Lisa ended up in front of the camera with the newlyweds themselves. Photos posing with Nadech and Yaya are, of course, standard at any wedding. Guests line up, smile, snap a picture, and move along. But when the guest is one of the most photographed women on the planet, standard tends to go out the window. Multiple photos from the event show Lisa standing between or beside the couple, all three of them dressed for one of the biggest nights of Nadech and Yaya's lives. Yaya, glowing in a fitted white lace gown with a long veil, stood beside her new husband, sharp in a black tuxedo with a matching bow tie, and their long-awaited guest, glowing in gold. On camera, it is the kind of photo that looks effortless. 3 friends, 3 smiles, and 1 perfect shot. But according to entertainment outlets that covered the wedding, what happened just before that photo was taken tells a slightly different story. Because standing next to Lisa, even for a few seconds, was apparently enough to catch off guard a man who has spent nearly 2 decades in front of a camera without so much as a nervous laugh. And that is where this story gets interesting. Part 7. I'm nervous, Nadech reportedly said. Here is the moment fans have been talking about since the wedding. As Lisa stepped in for the photo, taking her place beside the newlyweds, entertainment outlets covering the event reported that Nadech turned to Yaya and admitted, right there in the middle of his own wedding reception, that he was nervous standing next to her. Think about that for a second. This is a man who has led Thailand's biggest dramas for almost 20 years. He has done countless red carpets, international press tours, and high-profile interviews without ever being described as rattled. Yet according to those same reports, on his own wedding night, with his new wife standing right beside him, it reportedly took one photo with Lisa to make him admit he felt nervous. To be clear, this was not reported as some dramatic scene or a tense exchange. By most accounts, it played out as a light, almost funny moment between husband and wife, the kind of thing you say with a laugh, not a confession. Yaya, for her part, appeared completely at ease throughout the exchange, and nothing about the coverage suggests anything beyond a light-hearted, very human reaction to standing next to one of the most famous entertainers in the world. But that is exactly why it resonated with so many people. It is relatable. It is the kind of thing that happens when you are suddenly standing shoulder to shoulder with someone whose face is recognized on nearly every continent on Earth. Even a seasoned actor, on his own wedding day, is still just a person. And in that split second before the camera flash, fans say you can practically feel it. 3 friends, 1 photo, and 1 groom who, just for a moment, admitted the moment got to him. That single detail, small as it sounds, is what turned this from celebrity attends a wedding into a story people are still sharing days later. Part 8. Fans cannot stop talking about it. Once photos and accounts of the exchange started circulating, reactions poured in from every direction. On Thai social media, the moment was framed as wholesome and funny, proof that even a happily married man can still be a little starstruck. On international fan pages for both Blackpink and Thai dramas, the story spread even further, turning into one of the most shared wedding moments of the week. A lot of the commentary focused on just how rare this kind of reaction is for Nadech specifically. Viewers pointed out that in 2 decades of public life, he has rarely, if ever, been described as visibly nervous in front of a camera. That contrast, the calm, composed veteran actor next to a global pop icon, is what a lot of people found so entertaining. Others focused on Lisa herself, with many praising how naturally she carried the entire evening, from her gold dress to her interactions with the couple. Several comments highlighted that despite being arguably the most famous person in the room, she never once tried to make the night about her. She showed up, celebrated her friends, posed for photos, and let the wedding stay focused on Nadech and Yaya, even as cameras kept finding their way back to her all night. That balance, showing up as a superstar but behaving like a genuine friend, is a big part of why this story has stuck around. It is not really about a dress, a nervous comment, or a viral photo. It is about what those small details reveal about the people underneath the fame. Part 9. What this says about their friendship. So, what does this all add up to? On the surface, this is a simple story. A global superstar attends a friend's wedding, wears a stunning dress, and ends up becoming part of one of the night's most talked about moments. But underneath that, there is something a little more meaningful going on. For Lisa, this appearance reinforced something fans have said about her for years. Despite her international fame, she has never distanced herself from her Thai roots or her friendships back home. Flying in for a wedding, dressing up, and celebrating alongside people she has known for years is not the kind of thing a disconnected superstar typically does. For Nadech and Yaya, having someone like Lisa there, and clearly being close enough with her for a light, human moment like this to happen, says just as much about their relationships across the industry. After more than a decade together and 3 wedding celebrations across 2 continents, their final Bangkok reception was not just a showcase of fame. It was a room full of people who, fame aside, genuinely showed up for each other. And maybe that is the real takeaway here. In an industry built on image and headlines, this small human moment, one friend admitting he was a little starstruck next to another, reminded a lot of viewers that even the biggest stars in the world are still just people. Capable of nerves, capable of laughter, capable of genuine connection, even on the biggest night of their lives. So, there you have it, the gold dress, the entrance, and the moment a 20-year veteran of Thai entertainment admitted he was a little nervous standing next to Blackpink's Lisa. It is a small story in the grand scheme of things, but it is exactly the kind of moment that reminds fans why we keep watching these worlds collide. K-pop and Thai drama, old friendships and new fame, all in one wedding reception. And if you are curious about what happened later that same night, when Lisa reportedly stayed to celebrate with the rest of the wedding party well after the photos were done, that might just be a story for another video.